Today we have the biggest update from Hermes ever. So this is a new free, brand new update from Hermes. It's Hermes Agent v0.11. I'm going to walk you through exactly what you get inside there. The biggest addition to this is the interface release. So this means you get a brand new mission control. I'll come on to that in a second. I'm going to walk you through the whole changelog. I'm going to show you what it looks like in action. Let's get straight into it. So if we want to update, we're going to go to Hermes Update inside a terminal and start updating right here. And you see it's fetching the updates right now. This literally just dropped an hour ago. So it is brand new, fresh off the press. We're going to update like so. And from here, you might be wondering, okay, well, what's changed? What are the biggest highlights, etc.? Let me walk you through this. So there's over 700 PRs, 200 contributors, one massive release. You might be wondering, what even is Hermes? Hermes is a free open source AI agent that's a competitor to OpenClaw. Super powerful stuff. It can run code, browse the web, use tools, send messages, works across 17 different platforms. And today, I'm going to show you exactly why this update matters, because this is a full rebuild of how Hermes Agent works, looks, and connects to the world. So I'm going to walk you through what happened and what dropped. So first of all, let's talk about the new updates in the TUI. So this is the brand new interface inside the terminal. The old one looks like this. This is the new version. If you want to run this directly, you can just type in Hermes space dash TUI, and that'll set up the new terminal user interface, and it'll be a lot nicer once you start using it. So for example, we can use emojis and that sort of cool stuff. And you might be wondering, what even is a TUI? A TUI is a visual interface inside your terminal. So instead of just typing text and getting text back, you get a proper layout. Think of it like a mini app inside your command line. Now, what is new inside V2 TUI? So the entire thing was actually written from scratch using React and Ink. You launch it by typing Hermes -TUI in your terminal, and here's what you get now. So you get a sticky composer. So your typing actually stays locked at the bottom, even when you scroll up. Let me show you an example. So, all right, so this is the old TUI. You can see it's a bit messy. It doesn't look so nice, etc. This is the new version. It's just a lot cleaner. It also has these bullet points. You can click on the drop down and then get more information, or you can click off it, right? You can see what it's thinking about. But basically, it's a lot cleaner and nicer versus the old version. So this is the old version, and this is the new version. One of the things you'll notice is that basically your typing area stays locked at the bottom, even when you scroll up. Also, you'll see the AI's response appear word by word in real time, which is great. There's a status bar, so this shows you how long each turn takes and what Git branch you're actually on. And there's a bunch of other stuff as well. So, for example, sub-agent observability. So you can actually see when your agent spawns helper agents. So if I say, okay, spawn a sub-agent for writing an article about Hermes, I'm just going to zoom in for you here. So you see this status bar right here? This is the thinking mode, right? So you're going to see this inside. It's a slight difference, but it looks better. And also you can see that it's replying in like sort of these emojis and that sort of thing, right? And you can see it's thinking, it's got the tool calls, it's got the activity, and then it's formulating and creating the sub-agent over there. We also have / command autocomplete. So you can type in / and it will give you the autocomplete here. So we can select new, reset, clear, history, whatever, right? As an example of this, we go back to the old version, the / commands don't look as nice. It's not as easy to organize, and it's just a bit of an older version, right? So the UI on terminal now is much nicer when you type in / for the autocomplete commands. Now, on top of that, there's also unlimited sub-agent depth and width. Now, if you're wondering, okay, what are sub-agents? You can see them spawning right here, so you can actually see the spawn tree. A sub-agent is when your main AI agent creates a helper agent to do a specific job, right? So it's like a manager delegating to team members. So what changed? Well, before this update, sub-agents were limited. Now there's an explicit orchestrated role. So your main agent can spawn workers. Those workers can spawn their own workers, and those workers can spawn more workers, right? It's an infinite loop of sub-agents of sub-agents. This is called max spawn depth. And what this means is basically you can configure how deep the layers of sub-agents go. By default, it's going to be flat, one level. But if you wanted to crank it up so that your sub-agents can create more sub-agents and it just goes down the chain, then you can do it later as well. Even better, when multiple sub-agents work at the same time, they can now share files without overwriting each other's work. This is great. For example, if you're doing like research tasks, SEO, content pipelines, etc., you can go from there. Now, on top of that, there's also 5 new model providers. And one of the big ones here is GPT 5.5 via Codex OAuth. right? So you can actually use the new GPT 5.5 that just dropped today via Codex OAuth. Now, how do you do that? So we can switch models like this, right? We type /model and then we can switch models. So for example, we can select model codex. And if we go to Hermes model in the setup here, we can then go down to codex, OpenAI codec, and select GPT 5.5. You can see it right there. GPT 5.5. So we can now get access to that inside Hermes. Huge one. And now we've switched our default model to GPT 5.5. If we now step up Hermes, boom shakalaka. GPT 5.5 working inside Hermes. Now, there's a bunch of other model updates. So, for example, there's new providers such as AWS Bedrock, NVIDIA, RCAI, Step Plan, Google Gemini. You've also got upgrades for Kimi K2.6, which is available across OpenRouter, News Portal, Native Kimi in Hugging Face. You've got Xiaomi V2 Pro, and you've got Claude Opus 4.7, right? So you now have access to basically every major AI model on the planet from one single tool. Bear in mind, like the News Portal is pretty cool because you can just use that as your main provider, and then that can switch between all the models directly. They even had, for example, Xiaomi available for free for 1 day, where you could use that directly with News Portal 1 day for free. There's a bunch of new plugins as well. So plugins are basically add-ons that extend what Hermes can do, like apps on your phone that add new features without changing the core. And plugins can now register /commands. So your plugin can add new /commands to the agent, which is pretty cool. You can use dispatch tools directly, so plugins can tell and call any tool from their own code. You've got block tool execution, so a plugin can say, no, don't run that tool before it happens, and you can rewrite tool results as well. You can actually transform the terminal output, which means you can change how terminal results look, and you can ship image generation backends, add custom dashboards, and there's also shell hooks, right? So you can now wire any shell script as a lifecycle hook. That means, for example, pre-tool call, post-tool call, and on-session start, trigger your own scripts, no Python required. But basically, the plugin system turns Hermes agent from a tool into a platform, and you can now build anything on top of it. QQ has been added as well, which is a Chinese messaging app. Now, the web dashboard as well has a massive improvement. So if we type in Hermes dashboard like this is the new web UI that came out in v0.9, right? So it's building the UI and then it'll run locally and open up like you can see here. It actually looks a lot different than it did previously. It looks a lot nicer. And you can use, for example, live theme switching. You can see what version you're on. You can manage your plugin system. So if we go over here, we can also see our sessions, analytics, logs, schedule tasks, skills, examples, right? So this is your example plugin section. You've got the config, and you can also manage your keys over here as well, which is pretty good. It's also mobile responsive as well. So you can use this on mobile too, which is great. And then you can switch between LLM providers over here. So you can select which one you prefer to set up, etc. Then you've got this new steer command. So you can redirect your agent mid-run. This is a bit of a game changer. So imagine your agent is halfway through a big task. You realize it's going in the wrong direction. You can now type /steer with your instructions, and you can redirect your agent back on track, right? It will read your note after the next tool call. So it doesn't interrupt the current action. It doesn't break the prompt cache. It just adjusts course, essentially. It's like being able to whisper new instructions to someone mid-conversation without making them lose their train of thought. We also have expanded image generation, so you can use Grok, for example. You can use GPT Image 2 on there. You can also use OpenAI GPT Image 2 via Codex OAuth, which is pretty useful. And there's a bunch of voice and audio upgrades. So you can use Google Gemini TTS. You've got Grok STT in there. And the agent can now actually send WhatsApp audio messages natively as well, which is pretty cool. There's some webhook improvements, some transport improvements, but that's basically it. Now, if you want to try the new TUI, I would recommend that. So number one, you want to make sure you update. You can use Hermes update to update to the latest version. And then if you want to confirm you're actually running it, you can check on the UI, or you can run Hermes version, and that will check which version you're actually using. You can also see it when you load it up here. So you'll see on the TUI which version you're actually currently running. Then from here, you can try the new TUI. So that's the terminal interface. You can run Hermes --TUI to launch a new interface, explore the status bar, the sticky composer, and autocomplete. The / commands as well, super useful there. And then configure your providers. You could try GPT 5.5 from there. I would also recommend testing out the sub agent orchestration, which is pretty fun. So if you can build a team of sub agents and then their teams can build little sub agents on top of that, that's pretty crazy stuff. So really powerful update. If you want the full guide, including a 30-day roadmap on how to implement this into your business, I'm going to put that all inside the AI Profit Boarding link in the comments description, or go to the AIprofitboarding.com to get access. This my AI automation community is focused on helping you scale and grow and get more customers with AI automation and agents. If you go to the classroom here, you can see that we actually have a 2-hour course on Hermes and another full 6-hour course on OpenClaw if you like these sort of agents. And if you want to learn more about the TUI and how to set it up and the whole update from v0.11, we've got a full guide, as you can see on this. This is where I drop new daily updates on all the latest stuff. We've already got a full guide in there on GPT 5.5, ChatGPT Workspace Agents, ChatGPT Image 2, Space Agent, etc. So tons of stuff inside there. You can also jump on 4 weekly coaching calls where you can share your screen, meet members live, ask questions about your agent setup, etc. Inside the community, you have people online 24/7. So if you post a question inside there, you always get help and support 24/7. And then also you can meet people in your local area via the map. And inside the map, you can meet people in your city who are using AI agents like Hermes and OpenClaw. Plus, you can connect with me personally inside here. Link in the comments description, or just go to the AIprofitboarding.com to get access to all of this. Thanks for watching.